Hey everybody, welcome to Walks with Moss. It's 6:20 a.m. The sun's going to rise at 7:15 and there's a full moon tonight, so I was expecting it to be lighter, but it's really foggy, so this is going to be a much creepier hike than I was hoping, for sure. But I've got my buddy to help me, to help keep me safe. Hey Bella, you wanna go for a hike? Do you wanna go for a hike? Do you wanna go for a hike? Okay, let's do it. Let's go. Bella's not scared of the dark, that's for sure. I should entertain myself by looking for mushrooms. When it's dark like this and you're hunting by headlamp, the white mushrooms really stick out. I can see lots of conchs on the trees. Why do I do this? Because the fish bite best at sunrise. I could go to the local boat launch and try to fish there at sunrise, but I'd have lots of company, people smoking, people idling their car engines, people casting over my line. I can avoid all that stuff if I'm willing to frighten myself by hiking into these remote lakes in the dark. Oh, the conchs, I know it's not going to show up on the camera, but the bracket fungi, they just glow in this light. Yay, the sky's starting to get brighter. Cool. It's getting a little bit less creepy. It's light enough now that I don't need my headlamp anymore. That's nice. I can see around me. Trying not to think about the fact that cougars are most active at dawn and dusk. And the order of things I would want to run into out here in the woods, the number one thing I don't want to see is a cougar. Number two thing I don't want to see is a man. And the number three thing I don't want to see is a bear. There, I said it. Bears out here generally run away. If you see a cougar, then you got a problem, because cougars always hide and don't let you see them. So if a cougar lets you see it, something's not right. And men, well, let's just not talk about that, because this isn't a political blog. Look at these beautiful big mushrooms. I think they're Amanita pantherina, but with all the veil spots having been washed off of them because it has rained so much here lately. See, that vulva tells me, that swelling at the base there tells me it's an Amanita. Although the gills aren't quite as white as I would expect. So I'm not entirely sure this is an Amanita. I am looking forward to doing some mushroom hunting on the way out of here when it's lighter too. If we don't make it out of here with any fish today, we should at least come out of here with some mushrooms. Line number one is in, and to start out we're just going to use the old tried and true power dough with a egg sinker. And there's a stick here to prop my rod on, but it's out in the water because it's rained that much lately. Let's get the other line in the water now. I think there's something happening on this line. Maybe not. Maybe it's just the wind. It's always kind of hard to know what to do here. I like to leave lots of slack in my line so the fish swallows the bait and gets hooked before it knows anything's gone wrong. But it's so snaggy here, if I leave too much slack in my line, I'm way more likely to have the fish snag on something and lose the fish when I do catch it. So I'm using a little bit less slack than normal here. And in a little bit, we will switch to a bobber with a spawn sack filled with eggs that my dad gave me on my birthday. I've been keeping them in the freezer so that they would last. So far, nothing has happened here, and often we already have a fish by now. We've been here about 10 minutes. I think something is happening on this line. There doesn't seem to be a lot of slack in it. Oh, I've got a snag. Ah, shit, there's a car coming too. Damn it. They're probably coming to fish. I've never had to share this spot before. Oh man, this is a disaster. Oh, I think I got the fish off the snag. I think the fish is still on too. Wow. Yeah. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Come on up. All right. We're not getting skunked today. And I think the car kept going. All right. There we go. Number one. Woohoo. Great news. Man, it was looking bleak for a second there. My fish was all snagged up, and it sounded like someone was parking up there to join me down here in my muddy fishing hole. Then I got my fish unsnagged, and the car kept going. All right. Talk about a change of luck. A quick change of luck. Okay. Very cool. I don't know if I've ever actually been skunked here. Maybe one time, but I usually just do quite well here. Okay, let's get that line back in the water. We're just going to put this line right back in, rigged up exactly the same way, and try to put it in about the same spot. Don't mess with success. I kind of decided coming in here, the first time I break off on a snag is when I will switch to a bobber. It usually is the rod over there that catches more fish than the rod over here. It might rain at 11 o'clock. That's a ways off yet. It looks like it's raining right now by looking at the water, but that's really just the water from the previous rain falling off the trees up here. All right, we got a fish. Let's get some more fish, Bella. Let's get some more fish. I think we got a bite over here. Yeah, the lines are moving. I'll take a chance on getting the fish snagged by waiting to show the bite. Yeah. And there's another car coming. Interesting. Maybe it's the same car. Oh, no fish. Or is there? Wait, oh, there is a fish, yes! Yeah! Fish on! Fish on! And hopefully that car keeps going. Oh, don't go on the sticks, don't go on the sticks, don't go on the sticks. No. Come on up over here. Over here. There we go. Woohoo! Number 2. Another really nice one too. Yay! Okay, we got 2 fish now. One from each rod. Let's put this one back in. This is a really short, ugly stick. And in spite of being so short, I'm able to get it to cast pretty good now because I put some really good line on it. Is there something happening on this line again? Can't really tell. Cheers, everyone. I've got this little coffee mug cozy I made out of one of my late husband's shirts. When it's cold, I put my coffee in this to keep it warm a little bit longer. And this cozy also doubles as the bag that I carry my cook kit in. Works out pretty nice. I have another bag I made out of this sweater that I keep my cook pot in as well. And recently I made a rice hot bag out of part of that shirt. So I've utilized that shirt quite well. I like the shirt. It reminds me of my late husband, but it was way too big for me to wear. That's why I decided to cut it up and make things out of it. Because I didn't want to get rid of it, and I didn't want to wear it. Bella's providing the entertainment while we're waiting for the fish. I'm glad she's keeping busy. It's cold today. I think it was 35 degrees when we first got up this morning. Good thing we're not bass fishing. We'd have them all scared away. Come on, Bella. Scaring the fish. Come on, come on. Oh yeah, that's right. Shake all over me. There might be something happening over here with this rod. It might also be the wind. It's just kind of hard to tell. Since I've got a lot of slack in my line, the wind moves it around a lot. I don't think there's a fish. It's snaggy enough here, I never reel in unless I have a fish on, because it's pretty much guaranteed to lose my gear every time I reel in. I made the mistake of reeling in, and even though I reeled in quickly, I lost my gear. So I'm switching to a bobber on this line, and this sack filled with trout eggs, I think. Maybe salmon eggs. And got this weighted bobber here. I'm worried that all that's going to happen is that I'm going to lose my bobber on a snag. But we're going to give it a try out here today. The wind is blowing that way, and my other line is that way. So that's also a concern. I might end up blowing this right into my other line. But let's give it a try. Hopefully we get less snags this way. I've got a pretty short distance between the bobber and the bait since it's such a snaggy lake. The snags are just barely below the surface. Here comes the first test to see if the bobber is going to be less snaggy. I have to reel in now because I'm getting close to my other line. Ooh, I'm going to be able to reel in without getting a snag. All right. Bella, did you scare all the fish away? Have we had a bite since you did that? I don't think we have. Might just be a coincidence, though. The bobber is working out pretty well, other than I haven't caught any fish on it yet. I'm worried that the bobber is too big and too close to my bait. Might be scaring the trout. But it is keeping me from getting snags. And it's slowly moving, so it's kind of like trolling. It's not moving so fast that I have to reel in all the time. Yeah, other than not getting a bite on it yet, it's working out quite nicely here. I don't see any signs of the fish feeding. Maybe I need more line between my bobber and the bait, or a smaller bobber. I don't know. But they're not biting the rig with the power dough either, so I think I'll just leave my bobber rig be for now. I'm going to try a different bobber, one that's see-through. Maybe be a little bit less frightening for the fish, I don't know. I'm going to keep my leader length the same for now. I've got a new, bigger piece of power dough on this line now. The other one might not have been floating anymore. Well, darn, even fishing with the bobber, my line has managed to catch something. Oh, good, it came off. Okay, so now I know there's a branch out there. Reel this in and put some more eggs on. I am getting so cold, though. Oh, lost my hook, but at least I didn't lose my bobber. I'm not hungry yet, but Bella's kind of pestering me for food. So I'm gonna get out our snacks. We've got a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and actually jam. And the jam is combination salal and elderberry that I made. And we've got a roll of fruit leather, which is, I think, huckleberry. And we have pickled chanterelles. I'm kind of proud of all these different foods that I've foraged and prepared. My little hedge against inflation. I'm going to give some of this sandwich to Bella because she's acting like she's really hungry. What do you think, Bella? Want some peanut butter and jelly? Looks like we're only going to get 2 fish in this spot today, but that's fine. Since these are going to be smoked and then canned, I didn't fillet them. I actually want to be able to eat the backbones because they're really nice. After they've been pressure cooked, the backbones are soft, and I just love that texture, and they're supposed to be good for you too. So we'll pack these up, and then we'll go down to one other spot on this lake and try that, and then we'll do some mushroom hunting, and then we'll go home. It sure is a lot nicer to be walking here in the daylight. So far, I'm not seeing any mushrooms. It doesn't actually look like that mushroomy of an area, but the way things have been this year, you never know. My fishing rods are both ugly sticks. One that my dad gave me, that's the one that I lost at the bottom of a lake, but managed to get back a couple weeks later. And the other one is a smaller, lighter rod that I just thought might be good for backpacking. These aren't necessarily my favorite rods, but they're so tough. They're great for what I put them through, going hiking and trying to cast in the dark. I gotta say, this doesn't look like a very good place to launch a boat. I don't know why this boat was thrown in the water. Normally it's up there. And now there's a log in the way, but that log probably would be easy enough to move. This is a popular place with boaters. Oh, something just jumped out there really close to my line too. Fingers crossed. Definitely not going to reel in here unless I have a fish or I'm done for the day. Because this spot is horrific. I fully expect to lose my gear when I reel in. Unless there's a fish. I got a bite here. I was just putting my other line away, thinking that I wasn't going to catch anything down on this end. Yeah, it's still on. I don't know how much, I don't want to loosen the drag too much here because it's so snaggy, but at the same time, the way this fish pulled my rod down. Oh, no, don't go to the log, don't go to the log. No, don't go to the log. Of course you want to go into the log, don't you? Of course you do. I really didn't think, oh, it's a big one too. Oh my God, it's a monster. Look at that. It's a big one. Holy cow. Wow. Look at that, is my best one yet. And I had given up. I was bringing my lines in. I had my other line in and I was breaking my rod down. And this thing just took my rod and pulled it so hard. All right. I think we'll be staying here a little bit longer today. And interestingly, I've caught fish here before at this end, but never big ones like this, so I really wasn't expecting a big one. How cool is this? Yeah! So that's 3 nice fish. Now I'm really happy, especially because this one is so big. Got a bite on this line. Definitely something happening on this line. Just let it play with it for a little bit. Want it to get good and hooked. Yeah, it's still on there. It's still on there. Still on there. Still on there. It doesn't know it's hooked yet. If it is hooked. There we go. Ha ha! Oop. A little bit loose on the drag. Okay. Woohoo! So, what side of the log do we want to try to go on? Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I wish that log wasn't in the middle of everything there, but it's better than where it was before. Come on, fish. I think it's going to be a decent one. Come on. Stay away from the log, stay away from the log, stay away from the weeds, stay away from the log, stay away from the weeds, stay away from the log. Oh, I think it's another boy. Let's just pull it straight on up the shore like this. Yeah, it's another big boy. Woohoo! Look at that! Look at that! It's another beautiful fish. I love this place. I love this place. Now, I always try to kill my fish real quick. I don't like to watch them suffer, so that's what I do. Generally only takes one good strong hit above the eyes with a big stick and they're done. This is number 4, so we can have one more, then we have to go home no matter what. Bella, get out of there! I thought my line was moving, but it's just Bella. I was wrong. That one was not a boy. That one was a girl. Those are some good-sized eggs. Maybe I should save them and put them in some spawn sacks or something. I don't know. Here's some giant mushrooms. I don't know what they are. They smell nice. They've got kind of a funnel shape to them. They're growing in the leaf duff. Clitosopy. I don't know. They're good sized. A big one here. I still got a line in the water. I just thought I'd wander over here and see if I could see any mushrooms while I'm waiting. Here's some cool ones growing on wood. I don't know what these are either. They're funnel shaped. Here's the mushroom known as Caprinellus micaceus. And if I remember correctly, it is edible, but I have never eaten it. I think it's one that could potentially give you a reaction if you drink alcohol within the next like 48 hours. So I just have never bothered. But it's a cool find. It's not something I find very often. It's growing in clusters here. There's a little one. Being a Caprinus, it doesn't last very long. They turn black and go away pretty quick. But there we have it. Caprinus micaceus. This one didn't get recorded. I pushed the button, but I guess not hard enough. Anyway, here's number 5. So we are done fishing for the day. Going to clean this up and hike on out of here and see what mushrooms we can find on the way out. This one's kind of skinny, but that's okay. It'll smoke up just fine. I'll smoke it and can it, maybe add a little extra oil to the jar, and it will be delicious. What a wonderful day we had out here. Here's today's catch. 5 nice rainbow trout. Some fat, some skinny. All decent sized. Very cool. I'm looking forward to smoking and canning these. What a fabulous day we had on the lake. And it looks like we're leaving with our limit just in time because someone else has arrived at the boat launch. Looks like they're going fishing. I'm not seeing a lot of mushrooms on the way out of here, but here's kind of a cool one. Stropharia ambiguus, or the questionable Stropharia. It's got these cool little scales that hang down. And it can be quite pretty when it's young and in just the right stage. There's a giant skeleton down there. It's either a horse or an elk. I don't know which. Bella's trying to pull the bones up. That's not going to happen. You're not going to get that out of there, goofball. The main part of the carcass is down there in the river. Oh, there's 2 carcasses down there, so I guess it's a couple of elk. Man, they sure are big. Have to do a real quick outro here because my GoPro is doing that thing again where it shuts off when it gets down to 40% battery. So I hope you enjoyed our hiking and fishing adventure today, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.